It was Zero's trap, and I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I did everything you wanted me to do.
Yeah. By manipulating Ace, Zero was able to kill 3 people and keep the blood off his own hands. All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Ninery game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Junpei looked over at Santa. As Junpei spoke, he stood up, his legs still shaky.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about? I don't know any...
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, guess I should call you Aoi Kurashiki, huh?
Seven's face was sad as he spoke.
My memory came back, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki. No doubt about it. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan, right? After all, the person who planned the Ninery game this time around was Zero. And Zero's you.
Heh. Looks like you really do have your memories back, huh?
Santa's smile was sarcastic and something else.
Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then, huh? Yeah, you got me. I'm Aoi Kurashiki. I was one of the kids in the Ninery game 9 years ago. I made it out. So did Snake over there. But there's one thing. No, I guess there's 2 things you got wrong. Number 1, I ain't Zero.
What?
Wait, what?
Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an assistant. Like a secretary. But an assistant's only an assistant. I didn't come up with all of this. All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero, who is?
Calm down there, Junpei. Didn't I say 2 things? You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said...
All of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago. That's why this Ninery game happened.
But that's not it. Revenge isn't the only purpose. There's another reason you guys were playing the Ninery game. To save someone.
Save? Someone?
Right. You were brought here to help my sister. To save Akane.
What the hell are you talking about? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room. I was there. I saw.
Suddenly, Seven froze. His eyes went as wide as dinner plates and he spun around toward June. Junpei followed his gaze. She was gone. Where June had been, there was nothing.
What the hell? Where is she? Where's Akane Kurashiki?
Seven began to mumble to himself a strange series of words strung together as if his mind wasn't functioning properly. His face was twisted with effort as though he were struggling with something they couldn't see. He gritted his teeth and pressed his hands against the sides of his head.
Oh, my head. My head. Feels like it's gonna pop.
He groaned and fell to his knees.
Seven! What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I don't know. I swear to God, my head feels like it's about to explode.
From somewhere far away, they all heard a deep, heavy noise. It sounded like a tremendous wheel slowly beginning to turn. Santa seemed to have entered an almost trance-like state. His words were calm and measured.
What was the Nonary Project? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular phenomenon. And what was that phenomena? For two organisms to communicate with one another in the absence of physical contact. The morphogenic field theory. Could human beings use these invisible fields to exchange information? That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were two separate locations. One was the Gigantic, and the other was a building in Nevada called Building Q. Building Q had been built to replicate exactly the interior of the Gigantic. The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles, copies of identical ones on the Gigantic. They were told to send their answers into the morphic field set, and transmit them to their brothers and sisters on the Gigantic. The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the Gigantic. Each sibling pair was supposed to be split. But there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q, however. For some reason, she was placed on the Gigantic, with the receivers like me. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in Group A. Whatever the case, Akane ended up on the Gigantic. I think I've told you enough. You get it, don't you? I'm pretty sure you know where this is going, Junpei.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things you couldn't. How did you know Ace had prosopagnosia? How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota and how Nijisaki was killed? Were you surprised when you found out Ace was Hongo? And what about the coffin Snake was trapped in? How the hell did you open it?
Well, that's...
The answer to that is easy. He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. It's simple, really. How do I know the alternate futures then? Imagine a river that splits in two like an upside-down Y. The river flows from the top to the bottom, from a single stream into 2 branches. It only flows in one direction. It can never flow backward. Information is the same way. It moves from the past to the future, but never flows backward. That's why people at the river's source in the past will never know about those downstream in the future. But the people downstream will never know about one another either. Information only flows along the path of the river. But I am different. I can manipulate the morphic field set to pluck knowledge from the future. I know what happens on either fork of the river. Even though the people on either fork know nothing about one another. Now, who am I? I am I, the 9th letter of the alphabet. But I am also 0. No, that's not true. I'm not really 0. Not yet. Perhaps you could say I am less than 0. 0 is my future. In 9 years, I will be 0.
Where does she go? June. No. Akane. Where did you go?
Santa!
Why's Clover? Oh, shit!
Freeze!
Santa's got the gun. Guess he picked it up when we weren't watching. Looks like he's turned the tables on Ace, though. Wonder how he likes having a gun to his head.
Get up!
Sure isn't about to take that gun off him for a minute, is he? Ace isn't putting up any kind of fight. I mean, I don't think I would either, but he just looks drained. I guess he's going for the door, huh? He doesn't need to verify to go through that door, but... What's your plan, Santa? What are you doing? He can't get through any number of doors with just 2 people. What the hell is he thinking?
Didn't I tell you? I'm Santa Claus. It's time for me to make a wish come true.
That's it? That's all he's gonna give us? What the hell does that even mean? Shit, they're out! And now the gate's shut. Looks like the rest of us are stuck in here. They're all looking at me. At least Seven's headache is gone. He seems to be alright. Well, I guess there's no harm in trying. Let's see if this door still opens. Damn. Well, it looks like this door isn't opening anytime soon.
You mean we're trapped?
So it would seem.
What the hell is Santa trying to do?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, what?
Have you considered where we are? There can really only be one thing Santa would do now.
No. No, you can't be serious.
Oh, but he is. Shit! We've got to do something! Maybe we can still get through door 9. There's the red. Yeah, alright. We can do this. I just gotta... No. It's not gonna work. There's no way. The 5 of us can't open this door! 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 equals 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. Is there any combination that'll work?
Junpei, can I borrow your pen and notebook?
Sure, why not? I don't think I'm gonna need them. Ever again. Well, she certainly looks purposeful. Looks like she's writing equations. A lot of them. Huh? Oh man. She doesn't look very happy. What? Hey! No need to be ripping pages out like that! Jeez!
What the hell are you doing, Clover? Give me that!
Alright, at least someone got it away from her. Maybe now I can get a look at what she was writing. Let's see. Shit!
Then there's no other way.
Lotus. Looks like she just figured it out, though. Man, this is just too cruel.
It's okay. Go.
Lotus.
Come on, we know we can't do that.
Oh, don't give me that. I'm sure you'd love to get rid of me.
God damn it, you idiot!
Whoa! Where the hell did that come from? Looks like she expected that about as much as I did.
Without... No. If you're not... Look, it'd be bad, alright?
For a cop, he sure doesn't have much confidence.
Bad?
Yeah. If it weren't for assholes like you around, I'd be out of the job.
Huh?
Look, I'm not leaving you behind, alright? End of story.
7.
He's right. I'm not leaving you either.
Me too.
You don't honestly think I'd abandon you, did you?
You're all idiots.
Act as tough as you want, Lotus. We can all see you're about to cry.
That being said, however, I doubt we would be able to open the door anyway, even if we were to leave Lotus behind.
Huh? Why?
I trust you remember what happened to Ace. I couldn't, see exactly what happened, but I was able to guess what he was attempting to do earlier at the Red.
Oh yeah.
No. What is this? Why? The digital root should be 9. It has to be 9. Why? Why isn't it opening?
Just to see. Why don't we give it a shot?
Give it a shot?
Yes, that is what I said.
You were right.
It ain't opening.
But it did open 9 years ago. The digital root was 9 then, I'm sure of it.
You think maybe they changed the settings?
Perhaps.
Shit. If we can't get through that door, we can't get out. The walls are way too high. There's no way in hell we could get through that hole Sam popped out of 9 years ago. All we can do is stand here and stare at this door with a 9 on it. I guess this is it. This is the end.
I was watching. I had watched everything that was reflected in his eyes. I was listening. Every sound that vibrated in his eardrums, I heard. Smell, taste, touch. I felt everything he felt. I knew. I knew everything about him. What he was thinking, what he was feeling, what he was sensing. All of his feelings and worries and fears became mine. My mind, my consciousness, was inside of him. Through the morphic field set, we were resonant, and we were as one. I was him, and at the same time, I was an observer. It started with a tremendous noise, like a clap of thunder. That was approximately 9 hours ago. A bomb had gone off in the ship we were on. That was when my resonance with him began. My resonant event melted into him, and we became one, inside of Junpei. Somehow I found myself in Junpei's mind, 9 years in the future. But I didn't lose myself. I was living in 2 realities at once. One was the present, and the other was the future. Perhaps you can think of it as two movies showing on the same screen at the same time. Eventually, it becomes difficult to separate them and determine which movie is which. However, if I concentrated, I was able to focus on one or the other. That was why I was able to grasp what was happening in front of me.
Come on! Over here!
That was my brother, Aoi. He was screaming. I followed him. Around me were 7 other children. They all looked like they were about my age.
Come on! Hurry up!
We ran down a long straight hallway and burst into the large hospital room. Everyone was arguing. 2 of the boys got in a fist fight. A girl watching them began to cry.
I wanna go home.
She cried.
I wanna go home.
Another girl slapped the crying girl and glared down at her. It has been 2 hours since the nunnery game began. We were starting to fall apart. But just when all hope seemed lost, Light started talking. He was blind. 9 years later, we would call him Snake.
Hello, everyone. Yes, could you come over here for a moment?
He was older than most of us, and his voice had authority and dignity. The fights died down, and we gathered around him.
I have a little sister. She is very important to me. Right now, she is over in Building Q and is desperately trying to send information over to me. Her name is Clover, and today is her 9th birthday.
As he spoke, he pulled something from his pocket. In his hand were 9 4-leaf clovers.
I was going to give these to her as a birthday present. I was outside picking them when I was abducted. I'm sure I've already told you, but I am blind. For a man who can't see, collecting 9 of a very specific plant is, well, it is difficult. But my sister means a great deal to me, and I hoped that these would show her how much I cared for her. Since it's her 9th birthday, I thought 9 4-leaf clovers would be appropriate. Every one of you has a brother or a sister in Building Q with Clover. For their sake, we have to survive. We have to get off this ship. Do you understand? If we're going to do that, there are 3 things you have to remember. We need to trust and love, and we have to have faith in one another. If we can take all 3 of those to heart, then I promise that good luck will come our way. Did you know that the leaves on the 4-leaf clover mean faith, trust, love, and luck? Those words are leaf words. So, if you believe what I've told you, and you understand, then I want you each to have one of these. They're a promise between friends.
He gave a clover to each of us. I took one too. Eventually, he was left with only a single 4-leaf clover. He had one last thing to say.
Now don't ever forget. As long as you have that, we will always be connected. Do you understand?
When he finished, the tension of only a few minutes before was gone. We were calm. After that, we ran around the ship for a while longer and opened several of the numbered doors until we finally found a door with the number 9 on it. In fact, there were 2 doors with 9 on them, and we found them in the chapel. We split into 2 groups and walked through the doors. Before long, We all found ourselves in a room with a ceiling that looked like an upside-down funnel. For some reason, this room had another number 9, but this time, it was the only one. But if there was only one door, that meant only 5 people could escape.
What are we going to do?
There aren't any other doors!
We began to panic. Then, as if things had not gotten bad enough already,
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 18 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately. Repeat. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged.
What?
What's happening? What did that thing say? That didn't sound good.
my brother Aoi swallowed hard and answered,
I think it means this room is gonna burn.
Burn?
The plaque on the door says Incinerator. And that voice said the incineration is about to start, and incinerate means burn.
No! Help me!
Abject terror filled the room as everyone began to scream and cry. Every pair of eyes were filled with despair. Then, high up on the wall, a door opened and a man appeared. He was a huge, frightening mountain of a man, as large as a bear. 9 years later, we would call him 7.
Don't worry, kids. I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue you.
The rest happened just like 7 had said it did. The 4 of us who had stayed behind were saved by 7. We crawled through the vent, away from the incinerator, and slid down into the hall. We came out on the other side of the door 9. On the wall opposite the door was a set of double doors. We went through those and began to run up the spiral stairs. As we ran, I led the way. Behind me were Nona, my brother Aoi, Snake, and 7. The other children, the ones who'd gone through door 9 before us, were up ahead. I could hear them cheering each other on. We ran and ran and ran. We leapt across as many stairs as we could and kept running. The stairs spiraled upward like a tornado. Eventually, I pulled ahead of the rest. Perhaps Nona had slowed them down. I didn't want to lose them, so I slowed down as well. I didn't stop, but I glanced over my shoulder from time to time to see if they had caught up. That was when I realized.
Oh no! Where is it? Did I drop Junpei's present?
I knew I had it with me when we passed through the vent. Then, had I dropped it as we slid out? I had to go back. I had to. But I knew I couldn't tell the others. They would stop me. I was sure of that. I didn't stop to think. I simply moved. I ran to the central hall, the room that connected to all the other areas of the ship, and hid in the shadows. And moments later, I felt a run of wind as they ran past me up the staircase.